Welcome to a new way. He has put you on a new journey. Hold close to him and follow what he says. Sent the final prophet Muhammad to mankind a mercy.
Nothing's wrong with being notorious. Oh yeah. Laila Nasheeba, I'm not famous. I've been around longer than most all these dyers today. I've been around longer than Kareem Abu Zaid on this internet. He's famous. I'm notorious. I own it. And I take pride in being known as notorious, not famous. Y'all understand that? I'm a woman. I'll be notorious. The same with as Aisha radiallahu anha. Was Aisha radiallahu anha famous or was she notorious? Was Salama famous or was she notorious? Was Khadija radiallahu anha famous or was she notorious? Mary, the mother of Jesus, was she famous or was she notorious? You Muslim women, we're supposed to be notorious. Leave the fame for the brothers. Leave the fame for Kareem. May Allah bless you, Brother Kareem. Keep it real. I'm your sister. Yeah, we related. Okay, I'll just come clean. We related. But he's famous. I'm notorious because that's how Allah commands the Muslim woman to be publicly. We're not supposed to become a public spectacle that people like. You're not supposed to attract men to you. You're supposed to reboot them away from you. My voice reboots you away. My voice keeps you at a distance, Aki, on this internet. Now at home in my house, that's my business. And that side of me is only for my man. But for the rest of you men, do you understand what I'm saying? The rest of you sisters, we're not supposed to attract them in. The attraction's for him. He can attract the men. I am notorious at a distance, bro. Rough and tough. At a distance, bro. Don't nobody see the best part of me. We talked about the name of Allah yesterday. As-Sabur. The name of Allah. As-Sabur. We talked about how that name comes from a fruit. You know how there's a fruit that's so sweet, so pleasing. The middle of it is so sweet, you can't wait to get to the middle of it. So it takes patience. It takes firmness, resilience. It takes resilience to not give up on getting to the root, the core of that fruit, the innermost sweetness. Sabero. That's the inner sweetness of the woman. Let me keep it real. See, I'm not a young girl. I ain't 20. I ain't 30. I ain't 40. I ain't even 50. I'm in the 60s. Learn from this old women, young girls. That inner part of you, that sweetness, is only supposed to be shown with your husband, your man, not with any other man. Any other man that I come in contact with, he's going to see my notorious, my roughness. He's going to see my toughness. So he can think Laila is not the one to play with. Any man that looks at me on this internet, he says, boy, you know, she's good to look at on the outside. Saw bad raw. Saw bad raw. Saw bad raw. sweetness is in the inside. That's only for my man, if I had one. Y'all understand that, sisters? Young girls, do you all get me? Speak from my Zoom room. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Is this clear? Public spectacle. We're not supposed to make a public spectacle of ourselves. A public spectacle shows the innermost sweetness. A public spectacle shows the hidden fruit, the sweetness of the fruit. Allah says when you go out of your homes, whenever you are public, Muslim women, if you believe in him, you know, do not show that sweetness. Be loud, be strong, be women of dignity. One thing about Layla, I'm a woman of dignity. Publicly, I'm a woman of dignity. Publicly, I'm a woman of beauty. Publicly, all of that. The outside is supposed to be, you know, what Allah likes. But the inner me is not for your eyes and not for your ears. It's only for the eyes and ears of my husband. Do you sisters understand that hadith, that verse of the Quran now? Am I making that verse in the Quran clear? Somebody speak. Friends know? Am I making it clear? Am I?
Yes, you are.
Do y'all really understand?
Very clear.
I hope y'all understand. So I don't want you, sis, so they can talk about Layla. Yeah, I'm rough and I'm tough publicly. You will never know the real Layla. The real Layla is only for my man. The real Aisha. Why do you think they hated her? Because she carried herself the way Allah says. She was extremely intimidating, intelligent, beautiful to look at, intelligent, a woman of dignity. But she intimidated the heck out of you. She only showed that sweetness with her husband. Salama, I did her story for y'all. Salama was the cousin of Khalid bin Walid. She was a warrior of Islam. She used to spar with him. Back in those days, the females that were allowed to live were matched up as a child with a male to spar with, to learn how to defend themselves. Her and Khalid bin Walid, they were spar partners. As he says, she was like a sister to him, and he a brother to her. They were first cousins, but they were like the African Americans view a first cousin, brother, sister. He never thought about marrying her. Should have thought about marrying him. He was a military genius. And guess what? Salama was a military genius too. She used to walk around with a knife on her, in her girdle at all times. And she would be seen doing this, flicking it up in the air, catching it, flicking it up in the air, catching it. Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, said that was the one woman who intimidated him. When the wives of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam made him angry because Aisha and Hafsa, you know, they did the female thing of jealousy and put out some crap. A lot of the people thought the Prophet Muhammad had divorced his wives because he swore to be away from them for a month. When Umar heard about it, they were all gathered at Saudah's house because Saudah's home was the meeting place of all the wives. What's the source of all of this? Bukhari, Muslim, Muwatta. When Umar heard, because his daughter was married to the Prophet, when he heard that the Prophet had divorced his wives, he marched to the home of Saudah, knocked at the door. She let him in. Umar said, you wives of the Prophet, Why do y'all send him through this? And then he grabbed Hafsa. He said, Hafsa, why do you create all this fitna? Salama was sitting in the back, standing in the back, throwing her knife up in the air like she does. All the other wives of the prophet were, afraid of Umar. Not Salama. And when he grabbed Hafsa, Salama took the knife that she was flicking and threw it, and it hit the table, stuck in the table. She said, Umar, you always gotta dip your nose in the prophet's affairs. She said, what makes you think that you can dip your nose in the business of what goes on between him and his wives? Umar radiallahu anha says she was so intimidating in her demeanor, in her voice. He said that he backed away and said, I'm sorry, and left out the house. Even Umar didn't bother Salama. Okay? The prophet's wives were not soft. They didn't show that inner core. They didn't show that beauty and softness and sweetness with anyone but the Prophet Muhammad. Any other man, anytime they were public, they were intimidating in demeanor and behavior. Beautiful in appearance. Saw bad raw, like the fruit. Khadija, radiallahu anha, was the same way. A lot of men wanted to marry her because she was wealthy. She was beautiful. But when she left her home, when she was in the public, do y'all think she was, Assalamualaikum? No. She'd leave out the house. When she'd see Abu Jahl and them abusing the prophet, she'd say, Abu Jahl, let him go. I am the daughter of Kuwait. Release him now. And they let him go. As Muslim women, we're supposed to be loud and intimidating publicly. But one of the signs of the last hour, the prophet said, will be that the women will take on the appearance, the behavior of the kafir women. The women will go back to how they used to be. Allah says, oh, you women who believe, make your voices loud. Make your voices intimidating when you leave your homes. The prophet said one of the signs of the last hour, they will go back to how they used to be. Allah also says in that verse, do not behave the way you used to before Islam. The prophet said women will behave like they used to. That's what you sisters on the internet are doing. With your lily soft voices and all that sweetness that is only supposed to be for your husband alone. Notorious. That's Laila. I own it. You don't like it? Bounce back. You don't like my notorious demeanor? I ain't here to please you. Not when it comes to my dawah. My dawah is for Allah. My dawah is not for you. It's for Allah. I'm going to behave the way Allah commands me when I'm doing my dawah. When I turn off my computer, when my dawah is done, then that sweetness that's only for my husband, for my children, for my grandchildren, that comes out. My close friends, my sisters. When I'm in my Zoom room, I'm sweet. The sisters in my Zoom room will tell you I'm a different person before the cameras come on. Before the cameras come on, I'm a different way. But when those cameras come on, lights, action, Notorious. You women get it? Is that clear? And I'm tired of having to explain that to people. I shouldn't have to. Y'all better learn your deen.